Hello everybody. Alright, yeah, the levels are good. Yeah, I watched the, let me pull that down a little bit more even. Because I rewatched the last week's Fun Thursday stream. And the levels were okay, but like the music was super loud the whole time. And it was really difficult for me to get, above the music basically. So like, I don't know. It wasn't like it was hard to hear me, but at some points during the stream, I do feel it was a little bit hard to hear me. So, I'm putting it down a little bit. We'll see how that sounds. So, yeah. Hey, hello, everybody. I am late. I'm very late. I'm like 11 minutes late. But as I've told my gym instructor, which, clearly it's not working. But as I've told my gym instructor, I am always late. Your expectation of me should be that I will be late. So, that's a sickness. That's unfortunate. That's just how I do it, unfortunately. Oh shit, sorry. So, I'm just, as I said in the first stream on YouTube, I'm playing around with the levels. I'm trying to see, where it is not. On Twitch, it was easy. It was like, if it goes just above the yellow, and I was fucking golden. Sway job. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna actually get a sway job, and I'm gonna actually start dumping money into it. Every time I swear and I'm caught, I'll dump money into it, and then I'll buy new equipment with it. How does that sound? Anyway, as I was saying, let me just move. I need to like do this so that I have a little bit of ambient of sounds. I can hear how loud it is in the room. Otherwise, I'm screaming for some reason. As I was saying, I'm still feeling out the sound levels a little bit. So we'll get there. So hello again to nobody, but yet to everybody. I hope you all are doing well. From my side, I think I'm doing pretty decent. So I am just gonna switch over to my little dashboard here on YouTube. I just want to see what is going on. So it is EDS retail night tonight, and excuse me, it is EDS retail night tonight. And we're gonna, we're getting into it. It's it's been taking a little bit. I agree. I wish I could do it even quicker, but I'm limited to the time I have, right? As I said previously, it's I don't know, like this is like something that I do on the side, and I want to just do this to help me improve my development. So I'm limited to the time I have, but I think we're making good progress, in comparison to what we would have made if I wasn't streaming it. So that's really good. And then I have a little nugget that I'm saving for Fun Thursday. So we're gonna do like a kind of an EDS retail spin-off, but it's not really. It's also like a ERP system, but it's like a one-liner type of thing. It's just a little side project that a friend of mine asked me to build for him, or for one of his clients. So I spoke about that a little bit in last week's video. So make sure you join me on Fun Thursday if you want to see, how we build that, how we get into that. So let's talk about where we are right now, and I'm going to take us over to the screen. So last week we transferred the stuff from the original proof of concept build, and we started pulling all of the screens in, and just linking them all up. Now, that didn't leave us without problems. I believe we have some building issues here. Apparently the build succeeded. That is unexpected. All right, well, we have the point of sale screen. We have the stock screen. Oh yes, I remember we got it to where it was actually building, but it's not functional. And then of course we have to design the settings screen from scratch. So, I'm thinking the settings screen is going to be important, because we are going to need to change some very important, settings that control how the application works at the end of the day. So I think we should, just go ahead and build a basic settings screen there for ourselves as well, which is something we didn't do in the previous version, or in the proof of concept version. And So I think let's go ahead, let's prototype some settings, just, jot down some ideas of what we want in the settings. And then we can go ahead and just get a quick little thing started there. So I'm going to close this down, and let's grab my trusty friend, Mr. Notepad, and yeah, let's just think about what we need. So the first thing that I'll probably need in the settings is some way to manage users and passwords, and for now we'll keep it very simple. It's just going to be like a username or user number and the password and the person that's assigned to, right? We're going to get to permissions and groups and all that type of stuff, but at least for now let's just lock down the interface a little bit. And that's the biggest one for me here, is getting usernames and passwords sorted, and then on top of that I want to let's go ahead and let's brainstorm. I was thinking of maybe making it possible for us to move the database directory, but I think it should stay with the install wherever it is. So for now, usernames and passwords are probably going to be the only one that I have to do there. I can't think of something. I mean, let's launch the point of. I'm thinking the point of sale module is going to be where the most settings are going to be affected. We can add this if we really wanted to, being able to change these quantity buttons. For now, they're pre-programmed, which I think it works fine, and it's decent. But for now, I think this should be good. But let's add that just in case. And we should actually. Do I have a little to-do list here? I do not. Yeah. Okay. Well, never mind. So I think for now, let's do username and password, and then let's do general structure, right? So quick brainstorm, I guess. I'm gonna move that to the side, and then I'm going to go and I'm gonna add a new form to this module, or to this project. So let's say add window, and we're just going to do normal form, and this one is just going to be called form settings. So just in case you guys don't know, we had the little naming convention. So for example, the stock module, which is a module called stock, can have multiple stuff. So we have like stock underscore entry, stock management, stuff like that. The settings screen itself, it could probably have some prompts. So I'm gonna just call this form settings main, and that'll be as I don't know, like as default as it can get. All right, so by now you guys know our pattern here. So we're going to do a row definition, and then we're going to do row definition again, and we're just going to control copy paste on that, and then we're going to do some grids some columns, sorry. So I'm just going to go through that real quick. And unfortunately, on a live stream, you can't just have me fast forward through it. On like these on these builds, they just like, I don't know. That's kind of weird if you think about it, because isn't that part of it? I don't know. Like, I like watching coding videos, and I really do like them, but it's kind of just like I mean, I think a guy that comes to mind is Code Bullet. Like, I like watching the stuff that guy makes, and it's really, really impressive. But then he's like, "Oh, I won't bore you with the code," right? And I'm like, "Well, no, please do." I mean, I want to see it. Like, explain to me what you're doing. Like, take me into it. I don't know. I think just when it's pre-recorded, people have this tendency of just like speeding through it. And I think there's a place for it. I think it works. Obviously it works. People, watch it. So, but I think there's something good about having the code being built in front of you, and you can just kind of watch it and go through that type of stuff. You know what? I don't even have the chat open, so if anybody were to just stumble upon this shit, swear Joe, I wouldn't see it. but now I have it open. So if you are there, give me a wave. I don't watch viewer numbers while I stream, because as I mentioned last week, I stream as if like 100 people is watching me or 0. It doesn't matter to me. I'm streaming because I'm streaming, so it doesn't really matter to me how many people watch me. Alright, so what I'm thinking is, so right now we, so as I mentioned before, but you might not know, something I learned from Tim Corey, which is also a great YouTuber here on YouTube. Not that I'm calling myself a great YouTuber, don't construe that. But I always start off with a little bit of, like a margin that you create with the column and row definitions, and then from there on you can go to town. And I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so you guys can all see what I'm doing. So we have our grid and row definitions defined. So I'm thinking something simple, maybe a tab control, and then inside of this we'll do a tab item for each one, and then the type item we can do, is it content? It's content. We can just do general, for example, and that's gonna, well, it should appear something like that, which clearly it isn't, so I am clearly missing a part here. Okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna push this back down in here so you all can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the tab controls, I know there's something wonky about it. Let's see. So let's see. I'm gonna try it one more time, and I just want to see. Oh, you know why it's wonky? Come on, because I need to position this correctly. It was there, it's probably just like super small and compressed, so that's probably where that went. Ooh, what is that? Is that Heather? Let's see. Let's call this general. Yes, there you go, that's what I wanted. And then the content will be actually inside of the body. And we can name this, obviously. I wish what they would do, and I don't know, maybe this is possible, but I wish what you could do is like, it won't recompile this design view until you click save. Because I mean, I control S like a madman, so that would have been really, really helpful. So this is going to be a tab item, and this is just going to be general. So something that I didn't know when I initially started coding, so I learned in Pascal coding formats and just like design structures and stuff like that. Can't think of the name now, but I learned that type of stuff while working in Pascal, and we also had this, prefix everything type of structure, and I still follow it to this day because I think it helps me to identify stuff quite quickly. But one thing that I didn't know is that it kind of locks down to the window you are in. So when I was still learning, I would have a multi-form application, right? But then let's say I had a button in there for which the prefix is just btn, so you just remove all the vowels, if you have button, you remove all the vowels and it becomes button, maybe that as well, but that's ridiculous. So what I didn't know was that that it's locked down per form. So what I mean by that is like, you can't just go and type button submit, right, anywhere in the program and it will find it. Like if you're not in that form, you need to do form, I don't know, cart page, right, dot button submit, because it's a child object of that form. I didn't know that, I didn't understand that. So when I was developing like these big ass applications, sorry about that, when I was developing these like largish applications of multiple windows, my buttons would look like this. It would be like button form, cart, page, submit, right? Obviously with some camel casing in there, right? Stuff like that. That was like, so you can imagine if I was like, you know, I don't know, a few forms deep, and like my forms had big names and my buttons had big names. It was horrible, and I couldn't understand. Like, I was always thinking like, this is such a terrible way of doing it. His names are descriptive, but it's so hard to read. And then later on, I discovered, oh, you know, which is weird, because you would think, because I'm referencing stuff throughout the code, like I would see like, oh, you're, you know, referencing this as a child object, meaning you don't need to add that long name. But I didn't catch on to it, and then later in my career, in my coding journey, I did catch on to it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of stupid. So yeah, that's just a little bit of, you know, stuff that I got into. Users, and where the hell's the ampersand? Oh, there we go. So I'm calling it users and groups because I'm like optimistic, and oh, it's probably complaining about the ampersand here. And you know what, I forgot, in WPF it doesn't like this ampersand, so you need to make some sort of a what if I do that? I'm gonna just take a shortcut there. There we go. It doesn't like the ampersand, so you need to physically go and give it like the character definition, like a char number and stuff like that. I have it in one of the other forms. It's kind of stupid and ridiculous if you ask me. All right, so and now I think I'm gonna. Oh, I was gonna say let's add a title to each page, but I mean the tab item has its own header, right? So that's the title. We don't need to add that. So then, of course, in here, I'm thinking we will just add a stack panel. Well, I think first of all we'll add a scroll view, and then we'll do which one is it? No, we don't want to do maybe we do want to do the scroll view. Yeah, let's do a scroll view for now, and we can always, because I want to make use of the real estate that we have. So, you know, and then we can go and we can break this into two groups. So we can obviously have you know, a stack panel and call this one X name, and this will be a panel users, and then did I not complete this? No, didn't. So that would be users, and then we can go ahead and we can I'm gonna try and just enlarge this a little bit, and this will be groups, right? And obviously it's complaining now because there's already somebody called users here, so it's just losing its mind a little bit on the back of that. So this will be panel groups, and we're gonna push that in there. It is I know what it's complaining about. So similar to a grid, a scroll panel can only have one sub item or child item. So you would probably be wise to push another grid in here, and then in this grid you can obviously go and you can do column row definitions. So I'll just do a column definition now for 1, and I'll make the width just the entire thing for now, and we can always change this. And I like to just keep my row definitions. I like to keep my row definitions on top for some reason. Don't ask me why. I don't know. So, you know, there we have it. Like, and so now once we have the grid, we can go ahead and we can just pop those stack panels back in. And now we have these two stack panels, right? And obviously now that we had added a grid, we need to go and just make sure that Well, in theory, it should center on. It should center, I guess. But what I'll do is I'll do this, right? And it's gonna complain now because it doesn't exist yet. But what I'll do is I'll do this, and then I'll make these 5, right? And then I will do this. So we're repeating what we're doing on the form level, just in the stack panel level, and it's just gonna give me that little bit of squeeze and keep it tight, right? Like, so it's gonna look good is what it comes down to. And so inside of the stack panel, we're gonna want a data grid. Just gonna keep it simple for now. That data grid looks fucked up, but okay. Sorry, Joe, sorry. And so dbg, and this is gonna just be called data grid users, and then are we just gonna add some buttons? I mean, maybe just a big button at the top that's just like save. I mean, how am I gonna do the groups though? Oh, I'm gonna make this like Infor Visual, which is an ERP system that I don't admire at all. I think for now, we can always, you know, pivot and we can always make it better. For now, let's just make this users, because I also think adding the / groups sets a false expectation. So let's just make it users for now. It's a little bit over designed, but it's fine. And then we have our data grid, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put in another little stack panel in here, and this stack panel will have an orientation of horizontal. And actually, you know, I don't need to name the stack panel. There's no need for me to name it. It doesn't really have a functional reason. So in WPF we try to not name everything, because naming everything takes time and it kind of uses up your names, right? So and it makes the code even more bulky and messy. So as far as possible, we don't name everything that comes along, just the functional stuff that you actually want to reference to. So let's say in the future I do want to reference this specific stack panel, I can always come in and I can add the name, and then I can have the reference, right? Instead of just sitting there, me forgetting about it, but it does bulk up the code and just cause me to have to scroll another extra line, basically. And I mean, that adds up. You can count a few extra lines and then you can see where you are for that. Sorry about that. So in here, I'm just gonna add like a button, which is just gonna be save, I guess. After you make some user changes in the thing, you're gonna save, and it's gonna post it to the database. And if you just close, it doesn't save it, I guess. So let's do 2 buttons, right? Let's do a button that says save, and I like to put the names at the front so that when I am traversing the code, I can actually button save users. Yeah, because now you have to, it's a tricky little thing here, right? Like, we can put a save button on every single tab so that when you go through it and make the changes, you can click save on whatever changes you just made. And it's better than putting an overall save button on the form, because it helps me so that I don't have to check every single setting and check its difference, right? So I just know you click save on this tab, I'm gonna check the differences here. So the naming convention here is probably gonna be a pain in the behind. So let's do, but that doesn't look great at all. I don't like that at all. Let's do button save users. It's clean and it's there, and you know it's readable, I guess. And then in here, I want to just do this because I would rather prefer just working top down like that. Yeah, that looks better. Normally I work on multiple screens, but obviously when I'm streaming I can't, because you guys can't see multiple screens. But this is a little bit better. All right, so what it's complaining about now is that I don't really know what to call this other than just maybe reload or undo changes. Something like that would probably be my go-to, I guess. And then in here I can just do, is it margin? No, it's padding. No, it's, you're gonna want to do it over here. You're gonna want to do margin, and we're gonna do something like 5555, which is probably gonna be a little way too much. Nah, looks okay, I guess. In the grand scheme of it, doesn't look too bad. Something like that. And obviously, you would go in and you would make the buttons all the same size and all that type of stuff. But I'm just doing some not prototyping, just adding the basic structure there so that we can actually, do some work. And then I want to just grab, actually what I should be doing is grabbing this main window, which I should actually rename just between me and you. No, not the main window. That is actually the main window, funnily enough. Is I want to grab this point of sale window, and I just want to go and say view code. And let's pull this across. And I'm going to just keep it on the screen right here. Oh, actually. View designer. Yeah, just want to pull this across because I am going to just actually copy the values from these buttons and stuff that we built here. Just going to make it easy. Or maybe I should do the stock management, because I think we spend a little bit more time. Yeah, seems like it. We did spend a little bit more time on this, I think. So let's go ahead and let's copy that. I see what I did there. Okay, so still not perfect, but the margins are a little bit defined a little bit differently, and I think this, you'll see this makes it so that it doesn't become like a very small little squeeze button. So, and it does also help with the with the text not being like pinned all the way to the side. So that definitely does help us. And then from there we just have our data grid, and we just need to define some defaults here, such as the column and the row. I'm gonna put that in there, and then on top of that I'll also just do auto generate columns, and we're gonna do true. So now if we just tie a data set to it, it will automatically generate those columns. Actually, we need to set it false according to this, because we are going to provide it with the data set and update it once we do so. Alright, so I think we are looking good. Column number 1, so it should in theory be taking up the entire rest of the column here, but I think the problem is the scroll view right here. The scroll view, I mean it is taking up the entire, so let's, we'll see. So that's users general. I don't really have a setting for right now. I mean, the only thing that the only stuff I can think of is the point of sale module stuff, but honestly I don't really see a reason for now. I just want to get the user authentication in there. So what would be cool is, or what would be a decent addition is above this. And once again, I don't have any settings in mind for this right now, so I'm not going to waste my time on it. But Just above this data grid, I would put another little stack panel or something, and then you can add like nice checkboxes or, you know, any sort of user related setting, like keep it together, right? Like for example, users may not log into multiple terminals, or require login after X minutes, or, you know, something stupid like that. But then at least you know all of the settings regarding users and the way that the login and their passwords and stuff behave. It's going to be in here. All right, so I think that should do it for our settings. Obviously, I'm just going to give this a new title. And I think we can just stick with settings, that's fine. And then we can jump into our main window here. And we can go, and I'm just gonna close that down. And we can define it and call it. So we're gonna say this is gonna be, so don't do that. What the fuck did I... Oh, sorry, Swayjaw. What the hell did I just call this? It's this. Oh, I did an underscore there. Okay, I see. And then this is just going to be new form settings main, and we're just gonna do, that's where the underscore should have gone. Okay, it's complaining. Oh, sorry, it has been a long evening. There we go. So that goes to a show. And if we go ahead and we build that out, and then we compile it, there we go, settings screen, save and undo, very basic, but it's there, it does the job, right? It will do the job. All right, now I want to add, before I forget, I just want to add a little bit of touch of personality here. Main window, and let's just check the XAML. So in this row definition, maybe yeah, you'll see the stack panel here. Maybe not the row definition. I don't really know how I'm gonna do it. Well, let's see. I just want to add like a text block, and that just says text welcome and then username. Something simple like that. And then we just want to go ahead and, you know what, I am going to put it on top of this stack panel, but it's not part of the stack panel, so it will probably stand out a little bit better. Unless I'm stupid. I don't see it. What the hell am I doing here? Let's drop it inside of the stack panel and see. Yeah, I guess something like that will work as well. It's just something I had in mind. And then what we can do is you can break that down, and then you can do margins, and then the margins on this you can do 5, 5, 5, 5. And then we can do padding, and the padding on this we can just do like 2 all around. And then we do font size, and I want to do something like a 32. Oh, why would you do that? No, it is on, so okay. Font size like a 32. There you go, that looks better. You know, just something cool like that. And then, you know, just to make it personal to us right now, let's do welcome Code Rat. And when I was streaming on Twitch, there was a guy called Setulix, which he built pretty cool stuff, and he raided me, or no, I raided him one night. And raid is like, if you don't know Twitch, I had to learn all the stuff for Twitch, by the way, but raid is where you kind of like, if you have viewers, then you go raid a channel, and basically your viewers are just pushed into that channel's live view, and that, you know, they can drop off obviously if they want, and then they use it like either, you know, gain some new viewers or they don't. But excuse me. So this guy, I raided him, and you know, he, as I said, he builds cool games and stuff. So after I do a raid, you know, you would stick around and watch what the guy does, and, you know, view the content basically. And he constantly called me Coder 4T because I don't know, yeah, the hacker case wasn't there, I guess. So I was like, yeah, dude, it's not that, but I guess I can see it. You know, I guess it makes sense. So I just want to check something. What if we take this to horizontal, right? And I know I'm getting bogged. Oh no, we don't want that. Yeah, let's take that back to vertical, and then I don't know, just the size of this, like the length of it is really just messing with me, if I'm honest. But I think for now it's fine. I mean, the alternative would basically just be to grab this window and just take the width down to something like 650, you know? Get something a little bit more presentable on the table. And once again, you know, we will obviously make this a lot prettier or whatever. You know what button we do not have here, funnily enough, is the logout button. There we go. So that kind of does it there. I wanted to add a little touch of something, and these buttons we need to style desperately, but I wanna build a style or a style sheet so that we can apply it to all the buttons at once and make the buttons look uniform and, you know, nice. But for now we need that functionality, and I'm trying to not, and this is something I do. I get oh, you know what, I wasn't sharing my screen, my apologies. This is something I do. I get bogged down into the details of like the design and like the logos and that type of stuff where it's just not needed, right? It's like, let's get the functionality there first. But all I did, for those who wanted to know, I added that login button, and to do that I just copied this code here and just changed the name, and that's about it. Oh, and then I added a event handler, and this basically just closes the app. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go and compile that, and I just want to see, I know that close works, but you can see, you know, this looks a lot better already. And even if you do enlarge it, it's, you know, I think we can obviously push the text up a little bit, but once again, small things that will be part of the part of the button style sheet that we literally develop. So, and from here, you know, you can grab the point of sale module or the stock module or the settings module. And the cool thing is, you know, you can work in all of these at once. I didn't make them modal, so you know, you can have the point of sale module. Let's say you're at the till, right? And I know this is how it goes because I had to do this before. So I sold the system that I sold in my previous company. I sold it to a client, and the client didn't want to close for business so that we can install the new system, do training, all of, you know, stock take, all of that type of stuff. And so what happened was I was literally working on this new system live, right? Like I came in that morning, 6 o'clock, installed everything, imported all the data, all of that type of stuff as far as I could go. And basically they started trading on the system immediately. And so what happened was you would have the people working at the point of sale, and we were working on stock, and they only had one terminal, right? So only one PC, so we can only do it at one place. So we had the people at the point of sale, you know, do point of sale, and so then we'll have them do a sale when somebody comes to the till, and then we'll have to close this, and then we'll have to go to stock, and then we'll have to start wherever the hell we were, right? And you know, once somebody comes to the till, we need to save as much as we can and then close it, and we, you know, open point of sale again. And it was just so stupid. So imagine you just, you know, you can have point of sale, you can have stock, you can minimize that if you want to, and here you go, right? Oh, there's a sale, boom, you know, do whatever you need to do, make the sale, go back to your stock module, continue what you were busy doing, right? So thinking of that, keeping that in mind, I really think, you know, people will appreciate that at the end of the day. Obviously the spacing of this also needs to get a life because this looks horrible, but for now this is fine, I guess. And then it would be good to have some sort of a method to check if these stop showing or whatever, because that would definitely, yeah, maybe we can do a method on the closing form to say, hey, if I close you, just bring up the navigation screen again for the user so that the user can, you know, go ahead and actually use that. So that would be good. Oh, you know what I didn't taste? I didn't taste the logout button. There you go. The logout button shouldn't kill the app, I understand that. But there's no login screen, right, that I need to do. So that's actually another screen we need to do. And this is, you know, we need to get all these screens in place before we can start binding the data, because the data needs to be pulled into these forms so that we can move it around and test it and stuff like that. So guess that's what we're doing next, is a simple login screen. And this one will be real simple. So we're going to do a form, and this is just going to be called form user login. Oh, sorry about that. So let's go ahead and let's start this off. I'm gonna make this, you know, form real easy to work with, or real simple. Don't want it to be too big. Something like that, I guess. And then let's call it login form. And I'm thinking let's go ahead and let's steal from the stock entry module, because here we added a little was it here? It was on one of these. It has to be this one, where I added the ability so that you can't close it, like you can't kill it. It's like a I don't know, like a modal window or a dialog window. But once again, getting bogged down into the details. So this one should be relatively easy. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna clone our default stuff that we always do. So we're going to add a row definition. We're going to make this one height of just 5. And then this will become asterisks. And I'm just going to pull this up a little bit. And then we're going to do column definitions, and this will just be a normal column definition, and we'll add our width, and we'll make it 5 as well. And then this just becomes an asterisk. Oh, that was weird. And then what do you need for a login form? I think you're just going to need a little stack panel. I do love myself a stack panel, and you're going to need a text box. Don't even know if I need it like that. And this one is gonna have its name called edit login username, and this one will just be login password. What the hell did I just do? Can't remember how to set the password char on this. So for now, oh, there we go. It's gonna just be a normal password box. I'm gonna grab that, pop that in there. And then of course the stack panel needs to be on grid row 1 and column 1. There you go. And then we can add a button. And this button will literally just be called button login. Obviously we need to add content to just have it say login. Excuse me. From here we're just gonna give this button a margin of 5 all around, just to give it a little bit more of a, actually let's give it an even more elevated look by giving it a margin of 10 all around. And I think it might be wise to just do the same here and here. And then in here we'll do a gonna do an image, and this is just gonna be image profile picture, which is a very long time from now that's going to be anything. And then we are gonna just do a text block, and this text block is just gonna say please log in to continue. Or we can just even make it say log in, and we can go ahead and we can do text, font size, and make it something like 35, maybe too big, 35 seems fine. And then we can do text alignment center. There we go. And yeah, I think that is about it. Let's go ahead and we'll say vertical alignment center. I'll push it into the center there. And yeah, that's our login screen. Easy as that. So we can, realistically, a very rudimentary way of managing this would be, I still want this to be my main window, so that when the navigation closes, it closes. Then that way we can use the login screen for authentication and kind of pass a token back and forth, like quote unquote is authenticated. But then that form can be closed, and we can have garbage collection, take that up and basically redo it, or well, not redo it, but you know what I mean. It's gonna allow us to free up that memory. So let's do a public bool, and we're definitely gonna change this. This is not the way that it should be done. And the public bool is just gonna be is user authenticated, and when you grab this and you add a click to it, and we're gonna just create a new thing here, and in here we are just going to, yeah, I don't know how to return that. Yeah, so you need to route that back. See, the problem is you can go ahead and you can give it a custom startup object. So that would probably be the best way to do it at this point in time, because so you can go ahead and you can give it another, initialize component, or another main calling thing, and then in here you can give it a window and you can say this is the calling form, and then once you initialize it you can window calling form, and you can then assign this, well, let's call this parent form, and you can then go and say parent form equals the calling form, and in here you can go and you can say something, and we'll do a rudimentary one, and we'll just say if edit username dot text obviously equals edit password. Equals that, then you do the calling form dot is, and now it's gonna complain because it's gonna say that it wouldn't know what it is. Like it will, I think it will say it doesn't know if this code will work. Oh, and sorry, it's not calling form, it's parent form. So you would have to do something like a var there, and then just a var here. Ah, you can't. Has to be a goddamn window. Ah, sway jaw. Yeah, I can't remember how I did this the previous time, so I'll need to go and look into how I did this. But the idea being that it would then be able to use the fact that this is calling it. Let's go, let's say once you've initialized, you're gonna go and you're gonna do a private void check user auth, and I think equals new form login. We're definitely going to do a show dialog on this one. And then I wonder if can we do this? Make it of type main window. And then it will work. And then from here, from here we'll need to obviously check the user auth, and well, in here it will show it. So once the dialog is closed, we'll just say if is user authenticated. So we'll do if not user is authenticated, then check the user auth again. So we'll constantly prompt for a login until you obviously then type login. Otherwise it will just allow you in for now. Alright, I don't think this is gonna work, but let's test it out. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there's the login screen. If I just close it, it will just keep spawning a login screen. Unfortunately, you can see that it keeps just increasing the RAM. Oh, there the garbage collection actually took it over. So for those that don't know, and I didn't know this for a long time, garbage collection actually takes a little while before it actually works. It's not instant. So like if you close and open a lot of windows that are supposed to be collected very quickly, you'll still see the RAM going up, and then only after a certain period of time will it go down. All right, so now we said, hey, if we make this the same, then it allows us in. All right, there we go. So obviously we fucked up, Sveja. We broke this because we did not pass in this. Ooh, okay, I think, yeah, there's some sort of an override that I'll need to do here. I can't for the life of me remember how you override this, basically. But in theory, this isn't even needed, right? You can just do close on this form. Oh, but you need to know if the form is authenticated or not. So that's it's just gonna constantly keep prompting you until that user is authenticated. So what would obviously be a good thing to use here is something like a static class where you can update some sort of living variable that's based on the authentication type, like have your own little token running inside of the app, and then you would obviously have that secured somehow. So yeah, that's kind of, for now we can just do show dialog because I mean, yeah, if you close it, you close it. But yeah, for now we have that login screen, and then we can obviously do some. Right now we're doing, so let me try to explain. So once we get the database in place, we're just gonna call check user auth, right? This login screen will then be called, and it will do the auth check. It will say, hey, is there a token? Is there not? If there's not a token, I'll show myself, and I won't go away until you gather a valid token from the database, right? And then let's say after a threshold of 5 attempts, we'll just close the app, and you'll have to open it up again. And then if you do get a token, like if the database tells me that your stuff is correct, I'll generate a token for you. I'll make your token live in the static class, and I'll close myself. And then once this closes and goes into, so it's a show dialog, right? So once this closes, whatever is after here runs. So we can have it say, hey, once this closes, you need to check if the token is valid. If the token is valid, that's fine. But if it's not valid, you are just going to call yourself again, and you just saw what happens. You get like that continuous login screen. So yeah, I mean, a way around the 5-minute mark would then be to close it, the login screen manually, and then have it pop back up. But I mean, you're still not going to be able to brute force this, because after 5 attempts, it will just close the app. And if you just close it every time, then open it back up again, you literally you can brute force it like that, because all right, then all you will do is we'll just add a little counter in here as well, right? That just counts the amount of failed user authentication checks, and then after 5, it kills the app as well. Same principle, something like that. That would be my idea here. But we have run out of time for tonight. I know we could get a lot more done if we just simply spent another hour or whatever, but it's it's a lot of work for me because I mean I go a full day's worth of work, so this is like additional work, and I love it, but obviously I need to get rest as well on my side. So yeah, we added some cool new features in this release. We added a feature, so we added the login screen. Oh, let me just type added. That's gonna bother me. Added login screen and settings screen, adjusted nav screen, something simple like that. Gonna put all that in there, and yeah, let's push that out. There we go, successfully pushed. We should be golden. So if you guys want to have a look at what I just pushed to the repo, it's the pinned comment in the chat, so go have a look. It will also be in the description for those of you that watch. For those of you that watch the video after it was live. If you can, and you're watching this, after it went live, come on, join me when it's live. It's really fun. I've had people in the live chat while I was live, and just helped me to code and gave me ideas and all that type of stuff. So if that sounds like something you want to do, doesn't matter your proficiency level, if that's something you want to do, be involved in the project somehow, push ideas and help and so forth, join me live if you can. If you live where I live, which is South Africa, then unfortunately I understand it is it 2 o'clock? It's 3 o'clock? How late is it? Wow, look at that. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, like it's 2:45. So I totally understand if you're not staying up just to watch me live. Not there yet. Yeah, but if you can watch it live, please, come and join it. Otherwise, I still appreciate it if you just watch it for general entertainment afterwards. Really trying to build something here, and I am thinking about doing, as I said in my previous video, I'm thinking about doing like an actual dedicated video. Obviously, I do the live streams, but like once a week, some sort of video, be it a recap of the live streams, or maybe some sort of devlog of a project that I'm working on that might not be covered in the live streams. Something like that. I'm still not sure. I'm still debating it, but I definitely know that I want to do something like that. Just add that in there and get some content up and running. But for now, the live streams are serving me good. It's getting me there step by step. It's it's a little bit at a time, but we're getting there, right? Like we now have the login screen, we have the settings screen, we have the screens we need for actual production, point of sale and stock management. So we have everything that we seemingly need now to get going with the database. So unfortunately, we're using SQLite. Not unfortunately, but we are going to use SQLite and Entity Framework Core, which I've never used before, apart from a little bit of demo on a Twitch stream. So the next few videos are going to be me learning Entity Framework Core, learning SQLite, using Entity Framework Core, and we're just going to, pull all of this together and get it working. So we're going to be designing some databases, we're going to be implementing some functionality, we're going to be designing sale tables, and generally just brainstorming issues, I guess. So this is going to become really, really dirty really quickly. So if you want to get your hands dirty, if you want to be involved in all that code and want to see how this all goes, make sure you subscribe, make sure you watch the live, either live or afterwards, because that's where you're going to see it. That's where all of the unedited glory is, I guess. And hey, if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter, you can reach me on GitHub, you can start the repo, you can do whatever you want. There's discussion pages there. I'll have the Discord linked in the description for those of you who watch this later. I need to add that somewhere, I don't know where. I can probably add it in the chat, but I don't have the link now, so I'll start doing that. So yeah, that's about it from me. That was like 5 minutes of blabbering from my side. So that's all from my side. I think, so the two pieces of equipment that I have on my list now is a camera, like a dedicated better camera, or a light, because I just feel like it looks like somebody has colored me in with crayons the whole time. So yeah, I want to get something to solve that little problem that I have. But for now, I think we are golden, and it's been fun. It's been real fun. I will see you we're on the new schedule, before I forget. I don't have the intro yet. I'm really close to it, so it's a little bit shortened and cut down, but the new schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So the Tuesday and the Monday I've now swapped around, and that's just to accommodate my schedule and allow me to rest as well. In between streaming, working, exercising, all that type of stuff. So yeah, make sure you join me every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Thursday at 17:30 Mountain Time. Remember that on the 6th of November, we are going to hit daylight savings, which is going to stop. So clocks are going to turn again. And then, but for everybody in America, it's going to stay the same, right? It's going to be 17:30 Mountain Time. For me, it will be an hour later. So it'll be 2 o'clock my time instead of 1 o'clock my time, or 2:30 instead of 1:30 my time. So it will be a little bit later for me, but I'm going to stick to the American time schedule. So, I work on the American time. So you guys decided that time is just this construct that you can change based on whether you want to or not, and whether it's light enough outside for you to go to work or not. So, who am I to argue with you guys? Anyway, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and make sure to join me on Wednesday. All right, see ya.